Palermo that last weekend in the debut of new coach Alberto Cavasin. Adrian Mutu and Juve going to work without Patrick Vieira and Lilian Thuram due to suspension. That's Patrick Vieira. But with Zlatan and Trez ready to roll at the Stadio delle Alpi. It's Treviso, though, looking sharpest first. The corner kick finding Marcelo Cotafava. He nearly beats Christian Abbiati. Nice stop from the Juve keeper, preventing the visitors from taking the lead. Cotafava with a pretty good effort there. The underdogs nearly out in front. Good work to win that ball in the air, nearly 1-0 Treviso. 10 minutes later, forget the nearly. Treviso takes the lead, a quality play. Francesco Peravicini finishing off the move in style. It often takes a top 10 nominee to score against Juve, and this is no exception. Well worked by the guests, and they take what has to be a shock lead. Awesome strike from Peravicini, and as a result, Treviso is in front. However, that would just serve as a wake-up call for the league leaders. They come together late in the half to change the flow of the match. Zlatan Ibrahimovic with the cross, Adrian Mutu with the final touch, and it is 1-1. The finish might not have been the prettiest, but the attack, the build-up, very, very nice, and Juve pulls even as a result. Then, just ahead of the halftime whistle, the hosts take their first lead. Giorgio Chiellini with the drive and the shot. David Trezeguet on the other end to put Juve out in front by a score of 2-1. Watch Trez get the scraps. Treviso calling for an offside. They're not getting it, much to Fabio's delight. Coach looking on, and he has to be pleased with what he is seeing. The goal allowed to stand, and you know why it was allowed to stand? Because the officials got it right. It was onside. Juve with two straight to take the lead into the break. Early in the second period, a little frustration from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Also worth a chuckle, I would say. Swede assuming he's won a throw-in. But he gets a little resistance on the sequence, so he decides to bonk his foe on the head. Kid stuff. Kids don't do that. That's not the way to play this game. Cooler heads would prevail. And so would Juve. Ibrahimovic playing a setup man for Alessandro Del Piero in the late stages. Del Piero with the tap in. 3-1 Juventus, battling past hard-working Treviso to take control. Del Piero with a club record 180th goal there. Some question about offside again, but on the replay it looks like a good goal. 3-1 Bianconeri. More than enough. Fabio Capello and his staff able to celebrate a victory.
Roma were at home to high-flying Fiorentina on Sunday. Second-place Fiorentina have won their last 5 league games, including a big win versus AC Milan last week, but they haven't won against Roma since the 91-92 season. What happened on Sunday? Stadio Olimpico, Roma in dark. Early in the match, Antonio Cassano down the right sends the ball across. Damiano Tomasi with the touch, beats Sebastian Frey. 1-0 goal in the second. Tomasi's first in his first start. He's a fan favorite, returning from what was considered a career-ending injury, and it's a top antenna for me.
Was it a shaving injury?
And here's why. He accepted minimum wage to play, and he scores. He had knee surgery, and he said he wants to play at the highest level, and minimum wage was good enough. He said he's still earning more than many ordinary Italians. To me, that's a story, and that goal is worthy of a top 10. Number 1 for me, I think. No one else thinks so. Later, free kick for Fiorentina. Manuel Pascual to deliver. Out comes keeper Alex Doni. He can't hold on to the ball, but Samuel Kufor keeps the ball out as that one's deflected onto the bar. It was 1-0 at halftime. Second half, Fiorentina again. Christian Brocchi to Gianpaolo Pazzini. He takes a tumble right in front of the goal, and the referee arrives on the scene and whips out the red card. Daniele De Rossi argues the call. Pazzini is past the Roma defense when he gets clipped on the heel by a lunging tackle by Felipe Mexis. And as it turns out, it's Mexis that gets tagged with the red card and the expulsion. Gone in the 66th. The next order of business, Luca Toni with the honors, beating Doni. Toni beating Doni, his 16th of the season. Roma and Fiorentina end tied 1-1 at Stadio Olimpico. At Sant'Elia, Cagliari and Sampdoria. Cagliari's Antonio Langella colliding with Sampdoria's Maximiliano Tonetto. They were all right. Cagliari in dark. David Suazo with the delivery as he drives it right through the wall and past keeper Francesco Antonioli. This goal in the 21st. The Honduran international celebrates by mugging for the camera. He always seem to know where the camera is. I don't most nights in the studio. Alessandro Agostini with the roller for Suazo. Straight through untouched. And the liner too hot to handle for Antonioni, his 6th of the season. 1-0 Cagliari at halftime. Second half, it's Suazo again. Shields the ball, then strikes. Low to the short side past the keeper. Goal in the 52nd. Suazo with the deuce on Antonioli. Another nice strike by the Honduran, who in a previous match was booed by the Cagliari fans. But the jeers turned to cheers on Sunday. Suazo scores twice, giving Cagliari their first league win since March of last season, ending a run of 12 draws and 10 defeats. And certainly tough to be a Cagliari fan with
in La Liga situation.